flatter. Made it tough for the batters to try and get underneath the delivery. And by far the pick of South Africa's bowlers on display this afternoon and this morning.
Oh, okay.
A nuisance inconsistency. That's the word I want to use for Daniel Bosman. He's just frustrated the Indian batters with not allowing them to get too much going, to free their arms, to just feel as though they can go after the spinners. Chase here out in the deep, but the running has just been so good from these two. Since they came together, it's been effortless, really. "34 overs have been bowled, 275 for one. Those group stage games, where do you feel South Africa could be confident?
Yeah, it's a tricky group, and especially when you consider the spin prowess of a side like Afghanistan. West Indies have brought back a really experienced group of players to this 26th edition, led by Josh Dawn, and of course Jewel Andrew, who's made some history in the West Indies region, being one of the young players, or the youngest player to play in both T20 international cricket and one-day international cricket. Tanzania, of course, are the tournament debutants. Even with that, you look at it and you say, you can't take the likes of Tanzania lightly. But a really interesting group. If South Africa can get past that first one, Afghanistan, and then try and push the West Indies in that final one, and really hope to get maximum points against Tanzania, they progress through that group.
What do you think will be key for sides to succeed in this World Cup? Because the nature of this World Cup is it's essentially foreign to most sides because of where it is being held. Swept very well. That'll race away. Will there be anybody to reel it in? It's a team effort that keeps it from going to the boundary. Good bit of fielding there in the deep. Somewhat of a foreign turf for the South African under-19 boys. Yes, the senior side has gone there, but not yet at junior tour.
Yeah, they've been speaking about conditions being similar to what they get here in South Africa. And I guess when you have good spin options, that's going to be really key. But also wickets in the power play, what we've been stressing throughout this series, where South Africa have sort of done reasonably well. Wickets in that first game in the power play, and then struggled in the next two in terms of being penetrative in that first 10 over power play. So that's going to be very key in conditions where they might find similar to what they get here in South Africa.
Could an argument have been made for this specific series to be played in Kimberley? Just because I suspect that the conditions may be somewhat similar, a little bit closer to Namibia. In the air, he's hit it down the ground. There's a man coming under it. Good catch! Lovely, moving to his left-hand side. Had to do the hard work, and Daniel Bosman's taken an important catch. That brings the end of Aaron George. 118 from 105 deliveries. Very well batted. And Rolls finally gets the wicket he's been after.
Yeah, very good catch. Very, very good catch. Down at long on. They've struggled with their catching South Africa in this series, but that's a really good take. Ends a really superb innings from Aaron George, the vice captain of the side. Might probably be a bit of fatigue. He's been out there from the very first delivery, and that shot probably showed a little bit of fatigue. Hit it straight down the throat of Long On. And it ends a fantastic innings. An innings of brute force, but also control. The way that they batted together with Vaibhav Suryavanshi, especially in that 10-over power play, was so impressive. He never let the South Africans settle on any particular line or length, and then bossed on the middle overs together with Suryavanshi and Vedant Trivedi. This is the end of him.
A reward finally for Jason Rolls. 3 opportunities to take a catch, and this time has to rely on his spinning partner, Daniel Bosman. And what a good catch it was. Just fading away as it came to him. He was on the move. And South Africa have their second. Abhigyan Kundu now has to partner Vedant Trivedi. Would you say that there's an opportunity for a bit of license for these two? There's not that, not that shortage of acceleration. Shortage of acceleration. What I mean by that is you're not in a space where it's 35 overs. 45 overs. You're now at almost 35 overs. You've still got some time to really go, but you have a wonderful platform of 279. And I think umpire Shezi's, or not umpire Shezi, rather Cluster is at the boundary. I think maybe there's a discussion around ball, because at the end of the 34th over, they select one of 2. So we're just keeping an eye on things there down in the deep. What do you make of it, Pila? Is she trying to make a trim of the ball or change of balls or what?
Yeah, I think they had already disposed of the one ball from
blood on the ball.
Yeah, oh, blood
on the ball. I suspect, because I've just seen the South African physio with gloves on it, and now you'll see they'll try and replace with the other one that they've disposed of. That's why I think the South African physio was in the mix there. Maybe there's a bit of blood on the ball. That's why we've had that delay.
Yeah, and you probably can't use a wiper or wipe to try and get that blood off the board. It might be outside of the playing conditions in terms of the ball. So Karen Cluster has no choice but to replace that ball with one of the other balls that were used in this innings. Yeah, just gone back to that point of maybe trying to simulate conditions. I think this wicket here at Willamore Park might well be as close to what you would get in Namibia and Kimberley, and you might have alluded to the fact that maybe this series could have played at the Diamond Oval in Kimberley. I think these conditions are also really good in terms of trying to simulate what you would get in Windhoek. Good over that from Jason Rolls. Got the wicket of Aaron George. 279 for 2 after 35 overs.
Embarrassment of riches is what you see when your number 4 comes out to bat and he's averaging nearly 60. Hundreds for your opening pair. Just to give you some context around the ball, remember that the playing conditions for one-day international cricket are such that there are 2 new balls at the start of every game, and then at the 34th over they select one of the 2 does the fielding side. And so they selected the ball, and then, well, not that much longer they had to get the ball that they didn't want, just because of that blood on the ball. Bosman in again. played out square. They ran really urgently for that first, wanting to put some pressure on the South Africans.
And back to another point that you sort of came up with, David, in terms of license now for these two Indian batters to go really hard. It's also going to be very interesting for them. They've got a really, really great platform to be able to play with freedom. But when you look at it and the projections and what they were supposed to get or what they are supposed to get at the end of 50 overs, the coaching staff might look at the target board, whiteboard in the changing room and say, make sure between yourselves, Trivedi and Kundu, that you don't lose the momentum by losing your wickets.
Oh, catch it. Oh.
So nearly could have gone to Mohamed Bulbulia there. You've said it, Pila. They can do with not necessarily hitting a boundary every over because of the platform of where they are. Definitely don't want to give their wickets away.
And you don't want to capitulate from a very strong position. Clear from that very aggressive sweep shot from Kundu that they want to go hard.
Oh, no way she getting two, fella. I know it's closer to the ground, but no way she getting two, fella.
Gotta love wicket keepers. Full of energy, full of encouragement, and never short of a chirp. You got to be a special character to be a wicket keeper, to don the gloves.
Yeah, it really does. Tough job also.
Oh.
You gotta find some joy in it. It's nicely placed that. Don't get too easily.
Like if you look closely, look like green. Away. Like just you must come see what I'm seeing. Noses out, fella.
It's very good over from this end. Bosman just the two.
Catch! Oh! There's no way they're going for two
Again two.
No way they're going for two again.
Oh, thought they wanted two. They weren't going to get it. So tidy fielding keeps things in order. 36 have been completed. It's 284 for two. Looks like the return of Kruiskamp and the exit of myself as Mpendulo Magobane takes over from me.
Yeah, good opportunity for the legs of Kruiskamp, who struggled early on because of the onslaught from Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Aaron George, to come back and try and not only improve their figures but also pick up a wicket here. Trivedi's been patient, 28 from 34. Kundu just joined him. Really now it's about South Africa trying to limit the damage of possibly getting or staring down the barrel of 400 runs in 50 overs. And they'll really do well to be able to restrict India from not getting to that target. Mpendulo Magobane is alongside me, and really great opportunity here for Mohamed Bulbulia in South Africa to just squeeze a little bit. Two relatively new batters out of the crease, especially Abhigyan Kundu. So the approach from both sides is going to be interesting here, how India still want to go hard at this innings, or South Africa, and how they want to restrict.
Thing is, these two put on a 127 run partnership in that first match. both Vedant Trivedi and Nabigyan Kundu scoring respective half centuries. And like I said, when Kundu might be one of the finest of the lot, Vedant Trivedi also superb, leading run scorer in the Australian series for both the 50 overs and the test matches. And the thing is here, Pila, they have around 4 overs to just buy in their time up until that over number 40. And what we've seen from both these two gentlemen is that once they get their eye in, I mean, that first match, they had single-digit scores with 20 balls faced until they caught up. So if they buy themselves those 4 overs time, start number 40, and then they start going for it, they are skilled enough to push India to close to that 400 mark.
Pulled away in front of square. Good ground being made by the men covering that backward square region. Paul James keeps it to just 2.
So he can take his time here, Kundu. Doesn't have to play that shot, really. Scoring at 8 runs to the over. And you suspect that he's 3 for 6 right now. If he gives himself 20 deliveries, he can easily score a 50 within 40 deliveries, get himself into 70s after 50 deliveries or so. So you mustn't look to think that his first 2 innings where he scored the half century undefeated on 48 in the last match, you mustn't believe that this match has the same cadence and is the same surface, is the same ground, same conditions. He must work his time to get in. He's 3 from 7. The score is actually 287 after 37. We're just catching up with the scores.
Yeah, those last 10 overs are going to be so crucial from an Indian point of view. Kundu and Trivedi, like you rightly mentioned, have the talent and the ability to accelerate in that last 10. Try and push them closer to 400. Very much on course. Bosman is final over. Starts with a dot ball. It's been really good, Daniel Bosman. The wicket here in his final over would really sort of put the icing on the cake. It's been a good bowling performance from him.
Really has. And I genuinely like how Bulbulia has used him. The only thing I would have wished to see more is him and Jason Rolls bowling more in tandem, just to stifle both ends at the same time. Got that for just 2 overs though.
2011 से मैं ट्रेडिंग कर रहा हूँ एंड मैं सिर्फ फॉरेक्स में काम करता हूँ डोमेस्टिक एसेट्स में
has been at a premium, barely giving away boundaries.
Flatter has bowled at the stumps. A really good return here, none for 50. Well, but one wicket here would just make it really good.
And actually might have made a mistake in my stats. That 127-run partnership between these two was in Australia. And then it's the next 2 who are coming in after these guys who put in that 130-odd run partnership in that first match, Aras Ambrish and Havansh Singh Pangalia. So even that, Pilasante tells you that another wicket here brings in danger, and then a wicket after that brings in more danger. And then there's also Kanishk Chauhan, who can also bat as well. So 3 wickets still bring in 3 quality batters for India. It's really good depth.
Oh, Joey!
Gotta go, gotta go.
Hey!
Pretty quick, Trivedi and Kundu.
had to work up, had to get there. Just played it straight at the man. The fact that you'd think naturally it just comes to the non-striker's ends throw. But he rather went to the longer throw. And in such good control here. This is what I want to see Kundu do. And Trivedi just work themselves into a steady partnership and then start going from around over number 40. They still have 2 more overs to go to just work themselves in. Seems like we've been here forever based on 292 for 2 with just 38 overs.
Yeah, good spell from Daniel Bosman comes to an end. 10 overs, none for 50. In the context of what has happened today, those are really good numbers. Michael Kreiskamp to continue. Up and over. It's going to be a bit of a chase and a teaser here. It's very quick. Daniel Bosman holds it in before it gets to the boundary rope. Good relay with Ndando Soni to keep it to just 2.
Real test here for the lads. Unless if the team declares, you just have to face every single delivery. You have to field every single ball. You have to bowl every single ball.
Got him! Now the South Africans are pulling this back. It's another good catch from Daniel Bosman.
Really good breakthrough. Trivedi had no room to play that shot. He really tried to force it. First, it's a good ball from Michael Kreiskamp. Just rushed him a little bit. Then he was trying to really pull it, but just got to him much quicker than what he anticipated. Took a shimmy down, and that might have cost him more time to time the shot. Really didn't get into it. And then Daniel Bosman with a nice catch is out for 34 after 42 deliveries. Daniel Bosman might not have gotten the wickets, but he's taking the catches. Can't get him away off the game. The second one after catching Aaron George. So it brings in batter number 5, Havansh Singh. Scored that half century in that first innings, in the first match. And here he is now.
Havansh Singh, best of 93 to his name. Pretty good strike rate there. If you're striking at 89, you're a dangerous player when you're coming in. And the middle over of a 50 over game. Just the 150 to his name, so he can go and accelerate here, Havansh Singh. Good start from Kreiskamp. I think in his half of the pitch, Havansh Singh.
That best score of 93 from Havansh Singh Pangalia coming in that first match. Getting 93 from 95 deliveries. Really took his time with it. Then when it was time to let loose, he did. Got a little bit too aggressive in the 90s. Found himself caught. Was going to be a well-deserved century. How is he going to perform here?
Yes, probably coming back into Havansh Singh and missing leg stump.
It's a good area though from Michael Kreiskamp. Definitely going down the leg side. The feet a little bit stuck still from Havansh Singh Pangalia. The feet were the undoing of Vedant Trivedi. Just taking a little bit of a shuffle. Ball got big on him.
Oh, trouble, trouble. Did well, Kreiskamp, to just prevent the single from being taken. Havansh Singh Pangalia was really interested in taking that single. Not his partner on the other end, Kundu.
It's excellent from Kreiskamp. ball's just hitting the bat hard. He thought the one was definitely there. Michael Kreiskamp on his follow-through was able to just recover the ball very quickly. If it's follow-through and he wasn't as aware as that, it was definitely going to be a single on. Jorik van Schalkwyk standing at the covers.
He's lost that in Kreiskamp.
Just the line going away. The good thing here now is that Vedant Trivedi is gone, who was the set bowler, rolling his fingers through that one. But this was the appeal, definitely going down the leg side. And it's getting some good bounce here. Hitting the back of the length area where Vaibhav, whilst he was smashing the ball, couldn't get him away. And it seems like he's worked himself back to those good areas after 39, 296 for 3.
A good over from Kreiskamp. Got the big wicket of Trivedi. It's going to be a nice test now for these young Indian batters. How do they finish off the innings? Very new at the creases. Abhigyan Kundu and Havan Singh Trivedi. 296 for 3 with 11 overs to still go. Still plenty of time to make an impact for both of them. Corne Buota had a period where he really bowled well. Just after the power play. None for 24 in 4 that he's bowled. He needs to come back and help Mohammad Bulbuya continue to restrict this powerful Indian batting lineup. Well judged. Well judged.
Almost similar to how Aman Manak lost his wicket in the first match, running through a direct hit. Much more wiser here not to take the single. Good fielding. But Corne Buota is a good bowler at the death. Has a very good York, and what I like about him, he has big match temperament. He loves the pressure. Doesn't shy away from it.
Does well, does well. They pick up this.
Gets the run out. That is fantastic from Dandosoni. They were going for a single, and it seemed as if Havansh Singh was a little bit lazy on his run. Wasn't expecting the throw to be that good, but it's Sony, the fast bowler. It's going to be a fast throw. It's going to be a straight throw, and it gets wicket number 4 for South Africa.
I might think that Sony wanted them to go for the second because he got to that ball pretty easily. Then took a bit of time to release it. Nice shot. BTEX recover, then Sony gets there. Oh, bit of a fumble, and then the recovery is so good, and the throw is excellent. Easy decision for umpire Mtokosi Zishezi. And just as India was about to put on the accelerator pedal, they keep on losing wickets. This time, it's Havansh Singh Pangalia.
Decided to run on the misfield. Just spoke about it the ball before. South Africa ran on the misfield in the first match. Cost Aman Manak his wicket. Dandosoni was trying to recover the ball. It was right under his hip. They decided to go for run number 2. That is the end of Havansh Singh Pangalia. Aras Ambrish is the new man in. But Abhigyan Kundu continues with the strike.
Very good numbers also for Ambrish. 250s, a strike rate of 83. That's been a good period, though, from South Africa. They've been able to pick up 3 wickets. Slapped away through the covers just for the 1 to the sweeper. But a really good period, this, Mbedulo, because it forces India to start again, and that projected total comes down even further from the expected 400 runs that they were going to put on to something less than that.
You take into account the amount of overs that they need to recover. The strike rate of 83 of Ares Ambrish coming in at number 6. And just to put it into that point, I think another thing that's misused is the roles of players and what their numbers should suggest. 300 comes up for India, which suggests that they are going at well over a run per ball before over number 40. It's been a very well constructed innings by the whole team, barring these last couple of wickets. So it's a good 300 for the team. Should be looking at around 370 runs from here onwards, 380. But definitely beyond 350. Dare I say, still the 400 might be on the cards for the Indians under 19.
Oh, absolutely. 10 overs after this Kone Botha over. Still plenty of time to be able to put on the accelerator and the afterburners. Beautiful. Real good timing and finesse. It's Ares Ambrish this time who just guides it past. And it rolls away past that man that was just brought up into the circle for 4.
Smart batting. Very smart from Abhigyan Kundu. It's right in between the gap. You really have to be careful. This wicketkeeper batter kid is extremely skilled. Takes a couple of steps back. Allows him to play the ball as late as possible. And carves it in between the 2 fielders.
Look for 2 here. Nicely placed. Real good fielding, and they come back with the misfield. He got there in time, Budbulia and Daniel Bosman, but the fumble allows for Ambrish and Kundu to turn back for the second. End of the 40th. It's 306 for 4.
You'd expect that after a run out, you'll have higher body language, a higher response. Everything is just a little bit tuned up. But balls running through fielders, misfield, and just a general lack of chatter. It seems as if the 300 being on the board before over number 40 just let everything sink in for the South African bowlers and the South African batters of the weight of what is to come once they start batting. But you can't think that far. What's most important are these next 10 overs. Damage control. Pela, we all know wickets will reduce the projected run score as lesser quality batters come in. 2 wickets here for South Africa might send that score to a 370, 360. 3 wickets, you limit them to around 350, and each wicket you get that score lower and lower. So they can't give up now, because if India can score 340 overs, South Africa should believe that they could get at least 350 in 50.
Slept away through the offside, looking for the second. Good work from Adnan Lakhadin to keep it to just 1. And it is a good opportunity for South Africa to try and squeeze. We've been mentioning the fact that 50 overs is a long time. You might be under pressure in the first 10 overs of the game, but it's how you respond later on that defines the outcome of an innings and a game. Unnecessary from Kreiskamp. He got on the dot and he just fires it back towards the stumps and misses completely. Goes past Pashlo Motlaka. Good work from fine leg to prevent it to go for the boundary for 4. Connie Porter done himself a bit of a nasty down there, trying to save that boundary. And that's also what we've spoken about, composure. These critical moments of the game, you've gotten the dot. Pulled away in front of square. As well, there's Jason Rolls to just keep it to the single.
Cornet Porter's not looking good down at fine leg. He's really struggling with that lower back. You'll see him still crouching. So now, not only did that lack of composure from Kreiskamp cost an extra run, it might have cost South Africa their main strike bowler here, because he's looking a little bit gingerly. He already has his right elbow strapped up, Cornet Porter.
On the bounce to Madoff.
Now he's subjected his teammates to a little bit of a hampering. Was actually frustrated at Pashlo Motlaka not retrieving the ball. A little harsh on the wicketkeeper to try and get that.
Keep it. Keep it. There's no danger. That's kept low. Really, really low. He's lost his bat in the process as a tall figure of Ares Ambrish.
It seems like on that dive, Cornet Porter just overextended his back a little bit. You'll see the throw come in from Kreiskamp, and it's a great chase from Cornet Porter, but you'll see the dive, it just overextends the back, and it's like, oh, onto the left-hand side, onto his right-hand side, rather. That's where he's feeling a little bit of the pain. Jeez, man, that's unfortunate. You can say it on the mic, Pela, because that's exactly what they should be doing.
A single to finish the Michael Kreiskamp overs. 3-1-2 for 4. Yeah, unnecessary. You gotta try and especially at these death overs where they're gonna try and run for everything here, the Indians. If you get your hands on the ball, keep it. No point trying to go for the run out when there isn't an opportunity to get the wicket. Hold on to it, because the ricochet might be the one that costs you more runs. Composure. First 10 overs are very vital. The last 10 even more important.
For the people who are saying that the 30 overs in between over number 11 and over number 40 are not good overs, and that's why 50 overs should be abolished. They're all about setting it up for this end of the game. It's not a sprint. It's a little bit of a marathon, this 50 over cricket. India didn't just accumulate. They absolutely went on a spree of runs. Here's Ntando-Soni.
Half stop from Soni. They come back for the second. Really good running.
It's excellent stuff. Cornet Porter still holding on to that back as he walks back to his run-up. Might be the reason why he's not bowling this very over, because he bowled pretty decently in that previous over. But Ntando-Soni is dangerous in the back end of the innings. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again.
Again, looking for 2. Well placed. Just outside that 30-yard circle. It's an easy turnaround for the second. They might not be getting the boundaries here, Kundu and Ambrish, but they're certainly running well.
And the thing is, it seems as if they are giving away these ones. I mean, you look at the leg side. There's no one in the inner circle on the leg side. So Abhigyan Kundu, the left-hander, has free runs on the leg side. This means that Ntando Sisoni needs to be on that offside. Has no choice. They're going to just milk him as much as possible. They've already taken 2 twos already. there's no need to risk another two. So if they snatch singles over every ball that's left now in this over, they still get themselves 8 runs in the over.
Yeah, keep on accumulating. Especially when the boundaries aren't free-flowing. Still plenty of time for them to be able to get those boundaries inside these last 10 overs. But at the moment, especially when the bowling has been good from Sony in this over,
starting to communicate now. Let's have a Pehla Moshara, the wicket keeper. Even Tandoenko Son is telling JJ Basson to just hold it. It was very much on his strong arm. It was on his left hand. He has a rocket. But because also there's no backup on the leg side, everyone is on the boundary. You're giving away free runs. Just look at that leg side. So wide open for free runs.
slightly harsh that from umpire Shezi. Given the fact that Kundu just migrated towards that offside to try and get those runs that you speak about on that leg side vacant. All the leg side fielders patrolling the boundary. Hit straight up. Fielder coming underneath it. Takes a comfortable catch. Corne Puerta. And like you said, Mpendulo Makubane, Sony has the propensity of getting wickets at the death. His return spells are so good. And it's the end of Bigyan Kundu.
Just got way underneath the ball. Couldn't get to the pitch. Sony very stringent in.
जब आप अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ और मोबाइल नंबर अलाइन कर लेते हो तो आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी एक ही डायरेक्शन में फ्लो करती है.
That was the ball that he could try to take onto the leg side, but he was hitting against the movement of the ball as well. Never got into position for the shot. Loses his wicket with an easy catch for Corne Puerta. Halfway of the batting lineup has been lost now for India. That projection score just falls down a little bit further now. 319 for 5. Definitely does the job, Dandosoni. Sometimes it does a little bit of trickery where he grunts on a slow ball. That brings in Kanishk Chauhan, another solid all-rounder for the Indian under-19 team. And so still runs within the batting lineup for the Indians. But now I feel like there's no need to have all of those fielders on the leg side hanging the boundary. There's no point anymore. Bring some of them in. Just tighten up the area. Not give away free runs to new batters.
Gonna repeat that. Still a couple of those wide deliveries above the head of the batter, Dandosoni. 2 for 47. This is his 6th over.
Also might not be a true reflection of his return spells, those figures. In his first 3 overs, he went for 30. And so now he's only conceded 18, now 19 runs in the next 3. So 30 runs in the first 3 overs. The next one, he gets 2 for 19, which just shows that he gets better as the game progresses here, Sony. So the Indian under-19 team in a little bit of trouble. The fans also, they are watching intently on what's going to happen. 321 for 5. can I have a commentary change? Pilasande has been with us. We thank you too, Pilasande. David Midgley joins us as the commentary change brings a bowling change as well. Jason Rolls comes from the Ekurhuleni end. His first ball was brilliant. Here he is, 8 for 49. Context of the game. That one wicket counts for a lot. If you heard umpire cluster, 5 minutes behind South Africa. No, now they're going to fall more runs behind. Great shot from Kanishk Chauhan. Cut away for 4 at the point boundary. David Midgley with us on commentary.
Thank you, Mpendulo. It's been a change of bowling and a change of fortune for South Africa under 19. Managed to pick up 5 wickets. And that wayward delivery allowing India back in.
Still a lot of runs on the leg side. Still a lot of runs. These two are new into the crease. And as we speak about just at recognizing moments in the game, David, this is the moment where South Africa need not have so many fielders on the leg side because neither of these batters are still in enough to try and smash the ball. So what you try to do is to make them want to smash the ball because they don't have their eye in by bringing the field in. Right now, they can just work the ball into these open spaces. They can risk 2 runs. They keep it to 1. But you'd rather the new batter try to hit that over the fielder in risk that you'll grab a wicket than him giving him free runs.
Yeah, particularly to the right-hander. Just looking at the field, there's a deep mid-wicket. And what that means is you're giving 1 freebie to the leg side, and inevitably that 1 is going to become 2 when they run the first one so urgently and earnestly.
Surely, having a cow corner and a deep back and deep square in this situation just allows for this. It's milking. And the thing is, they are allowing India to come into the farm and take that milk. It's too easy. Jason Rolls is not bowling poorly. So bring in one of them. If the ball is being hit there, bring in your mid-wicket. Keep him there. Because now you're just giving away free runs. Over! What a catch from Mohammad Bulbulia! He throws the one on the offside. Where the fielders are, the ball was hit where there wasn't a fielder by Kanishk Chauhan, and Mohammad Bulbulia made himself big as he flies across and takes a wonderful catch to take wicket number 6.
Very much against the run of play. An absolute screamer. Mohammad Bulbulia diving to his right, inside out type stroke, and Bulbulia gets 1 to stick. Fantastic catch. South Africa have their 6th. 3-3-1 for 6.
Captain taking a stand. Dandu Nkosiswane in the background. He couldn't believe it either. Really good delivery. Great setup from Jason Rolls. Look at the amount of drift in that ball. It just drifted in. So the catch from Bulbulia is absolutely fantastic. May that give him confidence with the bat. May that bring the South African team into a little bit of joy. It's moments like these, David, that just up the momentum for the unit.
Yeah, particularly when you've chased leather for large portions of the day. Just gives you that little bit of confidence. Mohammad Inan is the new man to the crease for India under 19. It's a big lad, this. He can hit the ball far.
Leg spinner, all-rounder for the Indians. And just another wicket loss means that that projected score goes down further. The key thing here is the strike rate. Never mind the average. tries to score runs, opens up the face of the blade. It runs past JJ Passon, who's standing at short third. Strike rate matters. It's going to run down for 4 to open up his account here, Mohammed Anan.
Ntando Soni producing the goods in the back end usually, but this time it's the fielding that lets him down, because as you rightly said, he's a menace when it comes to the final few overs of an innings, and that kind of fielding will just be a let-off, really.
My apologies, it's Ambrish. Was the end of the over. Sony back into the attack. Oh, another great catch! South Africa are starting to run rampant. Corne Botha takes a wonderful diving catch, diving to his front, and it's again Ntando Soni who gets the breakthrough for South Africa under 19.
This is a game of two halves. The first one was calamitous for South Africa, and then the second one has just been magical. First, a rip snorter of a catch from Mohamed Bulbuli, and this time Corne Botha gets down low to prevent that from touching the ground. Good catch, and another wicket falls. 3-3-5 for 7.
Aris Ambrish was looking to go big, inside out, but the ball just kept on following him. Never had the room. Corne Botha, he didn't even have the space. He needed to create the space. Ran in front and catches the ball. Seems like that back is no longer worrying him. But maybe it is. It actually is. That dive sees Corne Botha needing to leave the field. But brings in Henil Patel. Clearly bowler's numbers. One of the opening bowlers here, Henil Patel, comes in at number 9.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Corne Botha. Just landed awkwardly, and as you can see, he's just grabbing his lumbar spine. Really not happy with that, but what a way to get that wicket. It was dying on him. He almost was wrong-footed. It went left, and then suddenly had to come right, and it was dipping on him.
Corne Botha, saw him in the schools SA20 about 2 seasons ago. He was down and out. He was injured. He couldn't bowl. His team needed him to bowl in the final over to defend 7 runs with a shortened run-up. Not only did he defend it, he bowled out the team, taking 3 wickets in the over. So he has strong hearts, big hearts, Corne Botha. He's going to be very forlorn that though he gotten this injury, especially with the team flying out to Namibia just around the corner. Hopefully this does not mean Corne Botha misses out on the World Cup.
He'll be devastated if that is the case. Hopefully it's just a twinge of some kind that he's able to stretch out, and nothing more serious. Somebody that is serious is Ntando Soni, 3 for 54. He was almost out of the game completely, and now in this late spell, he's produced some magic.
That's because I don't know how it does it, but at the end of the innings, he just has so much more control and is much more accurate. And the thing is, that area that we were talking about at the beginning of the innings, where you must hit that almost back of a length area, he's getting it now. And because the way he just bowls makes the ball a little bit heavier than what you expect, it hits that bat so hard. It's so heavy on the bat. He's hard to get away. The ball just keeps rising on you. That was on the back of a length, but it's played almost under the armpit. It's a great spell here from Soni.
Yeah, I mentioned that this game is a game of 2 halves, and it has been a game of 2 halves for Ntando Soni. Really looked out of sorts, didn't look at all aware of what he needed to do, and maybe 2 drinks breaks has done the job for him.
slowing it down. 7 runs from the over, but the most important thing, it is the wicket of Ares Ambrish. Sees India on 338 for 7 with 6 more overs to go. And all of a sudden, that 400 is looking a little bit far away. Even that 370 is looking far away, the way that South Africa are getting the wickets and the rate that they are getting the wickets.
South Africa won the toss this morning and decided that India would have a bat. And it has been all India this morning. Vaibhav Suryavanshi, 127 from 74 deliveries. Aaron George, 118 from 106. 227 was the opening partnership between these two. And then it's been starts all the way down as Sony, Rolls have pulled this game back. Michael Crace comes 6 overs, 1 for 52. It's been a really tough day in the field for the South Africans, but they've evened things out a little bit. They would have loved to have kept India to under 300. But that 360, 370 is certainly in the mix here as Kreiskamp begins a new over.
Comes around the wicket, opens up the face of the bats, does Hinal Patel. Jason Rolls with a long chase. It's going to be confirmed if it's a boundary or not, and it is a boundary. The chase in vain from Jason Rolls. Very nicely played by Hinal Patel.
It just highlights the timing of Patel there, because it just kept teasing and teasing before trickling into the rope. Those are the worst because they keep you hooked, thinking that may be a chance for you to reel it in.
You see David. Now he's bowling onto the offside. I'm still crying about the 3 fielders on the leg side. One of them is wasted. If you're now going to be bowling on to the offside, you might as well bring the deep square leg in and push down the third man. Make sure that if you are going to get the edge, you're going to still have it under control. But rather than bringing in the square leg, they bring in the mid on. And I still say that's a good idea. Just have one of them in so you can push that third man down. And all of a sudden, the one that was there is no longer there.
Yeah, the decision making has been a little bit frustrating from Mohamed Bulbulia. In addition, that fielder that you mentioned, Arman Manak, is on the field, which then presents a challenge to the South Africans in terms of their batting lineup, because as one of the 12th men, the question is, well, will there be a shot? The non-strikers in Kreiskamp intercepting that one, and he left his bat behind. The question is, Arman Manak is on the field. Where does that leave South Africa's batting balance going into their innings?
It's going to be a lot of work to do for Adnan Lahadin. Jason Rolls fresh off a century. Arman Manak, here's a big blow. The man has just stopped the ball. Has the highest runs for an under-19 player, Jorik van Schalkwyk. 215. The match before, 164, which was the highest by a South African, which he scored in this ground. So you look at Jorik and Adnan opening the batting at the top of the order. You have Jason Rolls coming in probably at a number 3. Mohamed Bulbulia would be at number 3. Have Jason Rolls at number 4. When Mohamed Bulbulia, who has the ball now, gets it going, he becomes a beauty and a delight to watch. Jason Rolls need no question. So that top 4 is going to have a lot of work to do, and they have all the capabilities to do so. Now we wait to see what are they going to chase. There's 5 overs remaining with 3 wickets in hand. 345 for 7.
You've highlighted such an important thing here, because the key for India under 19 was that opening partnership. Centuries for George and Suryavanshi really got them off to a fantastic platform, and it's been a lot easier in terms of pressure for those following on to come in. They haven't really done all that much. The heavy lifting definitely by the opening pair, but what they are contributing, it just adds to the extra weight that comes with batting second.
Here's JJ Passon. It was a question of how long until the big fast bowler returns. I probably would have continued with Ndandosoni. Bowl him out. Bowl him out. Then you bring JJ Passon on this side. Ndandosoni was doing well. You should know that he does really well at the back end of the innings. Always grabs the wickets. Always economical. So JJ has some big shoes to fill here from Ndandosoni, who got 2 wickets in the 2 overs that he bowled. Steep bounce from Passon is going to make it difficult for the batters. And you see, now Passon has a chance of actually getting a wicket with these short deliveries and having those fielders in the deep.
We saw the short ball employed by the South Africans earlier in the innings, and it really didn't give them what they wanted. Number of wides, there's been 10 of them in the game thus far. So maybe a change of operation here.
The ball is also softer now, much older. Used for 17 overs, and then after over 34, we choose one delivery that's just going to remain into the rest of the match. So if you start rolling the ball, start really hitting it into the deck, it's not coming on as much as it did in the beginning of the innings, and the batters need to put in a lot more work to get runs out of it.
Listen, you highlight the change of ball or the selection of ball at 34 overs, but you'll remember that the South Africans discarded the ball that they're bowling with in favor of the other one, and I'd argue that this one has been a better one for them. So maybe you should go with what you shouldn't, well, what you don't want rather than what you do.
Let's see if it's going to get JJ a wicket here. See, very much more venomous, those short balls from Passon. Missed out on the fifer in the first match through a very unfortunate event. Fielder couldn't get to the ball. Got a little bit of an obstruction in the field. Now these short balls have a higher chance of working.
He's taken a bit of a rib tickler there from that Passon delivery. Let's have a look at that one. He was through the stroke too early, and as a result, he's now struggling to breathe a little bit.
It's been a good match here. India already winning the series 2 games to 0. And South Africa will be traveling to Namibia from out of here. It's a very good adjustment for India. Played against England, played against Australia, and then had the Asia Cup. And so they've experienced so many different conditions. Now they experience conditions which are very close to the area that they'll be playing the World Cup in. Wouldn't say that the conditions are the same, but at least you are acclimatizing to the weather. And Daniel Bosman, he's the only one who acclimatized to the pitch, going at 5 runs to the over. Very economical in context of the game. Ndandosoni getting his wickets in the back end of the innings after a very tough start. His first 3 overs going for 30. His next 4 going for 26, but with 3 wickets. The rest, Jason Rose getting 2 wickets. He still has 1 more over. I don't think we're going to see that. So the question is now, how is Mohamed Bulbuli and the rest of the South African leaders going to set up the rest of the overs? Who are they going to use where in order to maximize their bowling capabilities?
Yeah, it's not only the selection of bowlers, but what you do with their field placings, because we've seen that he's tended to be on the more conservative side, and as a result, it means that you don't really hammer home any advantage that you do have.
Up into the air, might be a chance to collect the ball in the grass embankments. That's a big hit from Mohamed Anan. And it brings up the 350 for India. The onslaught does not stop.
Well, he looked to employ the short ball this time. As comfortable as a duck in water. Swats that away. And all that the man in the deep can do is request somebody throw it back to him.
It's a wonderful hit. The short ball has not worked at all for JJ Basson. Going at over 10 runs to the over. Much more skilled than the numbers suggest. But maybe just not adjusting to what the conditions require out of him. His normal stock ball, being at the back of a length, works wonders. Tried a little bit too much with the short stuff. Really took him to the cleaners. Just didn't get his range. Michael Kreiskamp lost it for a couple of overs. But now he's reeled it back in pretty decently. Oh, nearly getting into the stumps. The inside edge makes the ball roll to Pahlamohlaga, which was a good stop.
It's a great delivery from Michael Kreiskamp. Let's have a look at this one again. He's coming around the wicket to the right-handed batter in the block hole, and so nearly could have picked up a wicket. Accuracy and effectiveness.
Good areas. Good work.
Quick question. How many trades do you make in a day?
Let's see. Around 150.
150 trades, that too manually.
Just to motivate the boys. They singing songs in vernacular South African languages. Some of the players mightn't understand what's being sung, but you can just feel the vibe as they push the boys. That's why Kreiskamp can bowl deliveries like those. Opening up the face of the bat.
Bit of a slow one as well there from Michael Kreiskamp. I want to highlight, as you've seen in the replays there, credits to Letaba Pahlamahlaka, because that's never an easy one to take as a wicket keeper. The one that just dies out the surface and rolls at pace to you. So he's done well to get his body behind that one.
He's been very tidy behind the stumps, Pahlamohlaga. Nothing extravagant, but no mistakes. And if you're not having complaints with your wicketkeeper, you are good, because it means they're saving the runs. Hasn't really been much opportunity for him to take any great catches or for him to do anything spectacular. He's done his basics really well, saved South Africa valuable runs. No third man in the deep. Sony with the long chase. He was already had one run out. They're going to turn around, run 3, the Indian under-19s. It's very good batting. 3 overs remain. They keep on ticking.
I'd say that's good cricket all around. Michael Kreiskamp bowled a Yorker length delivery. Good bit of work there from Patel to just squeeze it away. And a good chase in the deep from Sony and Rolls. Good cricket.
Said in the previous over, David, if he's bowling there, you have to keep your third man down in the boundary. That's what they do now, bringing in Corne Puerta, who's back in. Goes in for a wide delivery. Man, you've been bowling such a good over. Why did he change it up? It's going to give away 1 run and an extra ball.
2 wides from this Kreiskamp over. And suddenly you notice how the game has slipped away from the South African under-19s. You bowl a good ball and then you follow it up in the poorest fashion.
At least there's protection in the deep. Overpitched from Kreiskamp. It's going to be a single for what it's worth. Relatively decent over from Michael Kreiskamp. Only that wide delivery. A well-played ball down to the third for 3 runs.
Yeah, correction, it's just the 1 wide. It was the wide in the previous. Did he not have 2 wides in this over? I thought he did. There was one that was down the leg side and then that one.
definitely did get 2 wides in the over. That's why we have another extra delivery. Our scoreboard is at 363 for 7. There's 3 overs remaining. Here, the singing fans. You'll just hear from the singing and cheers that there's a South African voice pushing the boys.
Well, families coordinated there. Good colouring across the group. Everybody made sure this is the colour that we're going for our day at the cricket. And what a day it has been for those who've been watching. Something special from India under 19.
They certainly enjoyed the show from Vaibhav Suryavanshi earlier on in the morning. Aaron George as well. In the back end, South Africa have really done well to limit this to under 390 for 100. Another wicket here. And if South Africa are able to chase down a score of just under 380, I feel like it'll be a marginal psychological win. But still, you're looking at that score. It's beating down on you.
Yeah, it's not just the sun that beats down on you here. It's that wretched number if you're a South African fan on the scoreboard. 365 for 7. Still 2 and a bit overs to go. Yes, it is 7 runs to the over at the moment, but the South African openers are going to have a stern task ahead of them.
Good from JJ Basson. Very nasty bounce for Patlamoshara. Gives away 1 run. It's all about how to end here for JJ Basson. 2 wickets. Gives him a little bit of a spunk on his step. Despite not the greatest outing from the South African quickie.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with himself. Wicketless at nearly 10 to the over.
Heavy on the bat. Just over Ntandosoni. It's going to spin backwards, keep it to 2. The glimpses of what he can do are showing here. JJ Basson.
Yeah, and it's been exactly that. It's been nothing but glimpses from Basson today. Really just struggled and almost trundled, if you will, through this outing with ball in hand. Change in the field. Third man is out, and so is backward point. You suspect this delivery will be one of 2 options. Short and wide, or the double bluff in the Yorker.
Ooh, nearly chopping it back into his stumps. It's good. Good end here from JJ Basson. It's really slowed down from Henel Patel and Mohamed Enan. You really just want, I think now it's either they're trying to bat out the 50 overs, but also you've spent 15 balls and 12 balls respectively. It's time to start swinging with just 13 balls remaining. Which is what he does. This is how you must end up the innings. JJ Basson, really difficult day. Close off with another boundary. Mohamed Enan keeps the score ticking alongside Henel Patel. 372 for 7.
Overpitched from Basson. And confident stroke there. Means it's another boundary for India under 19. You mentioned that they've been a little bit more steady in their approach. Mohamed Enan, 18 from 13. Henel Patel, 16 from 15. On any other day, you might argue that a run-a-ball score is one that you'd be happy with from your batters, but unfortunately, when you compare it to the Himalayas from your opening pair, it just then looks pale in comparison.
At least it affords you to the start affords you to bat like how you are batting now, but they must end well. Tandosoni returns to bowl the penultimate over. I really still think he should have continued after his 2 overs where he got 2 wickets. I think there was a little bit of a misjudgment in South Africa's usage of Ntandosoni. It's going to be a leg bye. And so he's only got this 1 more over left.
Good movement there out of the hand of Soni. And you can understand why he's asking the question. You just see the reply there is not to his satisfaction.
He's got to adjust. He always moves the ball into the right-hander. Just bowl it a little bit wider. That first ball was not too bad at all.
Yeah, it's the right idea. You've got to look to attack the stumps late in the game here, because you know that batters are going to be looking to eye those boundaries straight, and so you want to bowl wicket to wicket and attack the stumps.
Much better from Soni. Much better. This is it.
Difficult for the South Africans, but all credit must be given to the India under-19 players. It's just been brilliant from the word go.
They haven't relented, really. This build-up of this partnership now worth 40 runs from 33 deliveries. That is definitely the family with the well-coordinated clothing in the stand. Definitely seems to be cheering Tandosoni on. The moment he came into the bowling, they got a little bit more excitable. I'm hearing their screams, "We love you, Soni." They are singing Zulu songs. Tandosoni is from KwaZulu-Natal, so they're getting happy. He's getting wings behind his back here, and Tandosoni is really bowling good.
Deep in Xhosa territory down there in the Eastern Cape. Wonder if they have said to him, "You are now from the fabric of the Amatola Mountains down there in the Eastern Cape. No longer the Drakensberg."
The Zulu people are gonna fight. Hey, we brought him up. But the Warriors did give him the opportunity to fly his wings. And boy, is he using it well. Has 2 more balls remaining in his spell. It's great. It's really good. Just need to close it off without conceding a boundary. And South Africa might be chasing a score below 390. It's still a big score, though. Saying it doesn't not make it sound any lesser than what it is.
Yeah, there's no hiding from it. Nigh on 400 in a game where you put the opposition into bat first.
The pitch is starting to break up a little bit. You can see all the footmarks. The sun has been beating down on it. It's not a cold day here in Benoni. So maybe the quickest conditions have gone past. It's going to be a lot of work for the batters who are going to be batting in the second innings. Last over remaining. Tandosoni gets 3 for 61 in his 8 overs. 378 for 7.
Six legitimate deliveries, and they are to be bowled by JJ Basson. He's gone at just over 10 to the over, wicketless. And yeah, he wouldn't want to end his outing today without a wicket in the column, and I think he might do so because No, it will be JJ Basson. I thought for half a second that Corne Botha will wrap things up, but Basson with his captain would love to not end with a nil.
I think the injury of Corne Botha really kind of hurts the decision maker of Mohamed Bulbulia and the rest of the South Africans. He bowled really well in that first over that he came in after his first initial spell. Then the over after, as he was fielding, really did a doozy on his back, so he can't bowl. Would have been awesome if he still could have. JJ Basson gets a really good ball. Patamutlaka needs to run them out. A little bit of a timid throw. They finish the one.
Very intelligent stuff there from India. Just aware that Patamutlaka didn't quite take it as cleanly as he would have liked. Slow ball, and so it just bobbled over the stumps. Got to take opportunities where you can get them.
He's not happy. He's not happy with himself, Patamutlaka, with that mistake. Trying to go hard against Basson. There's no point in trying to hold back anymore. Especially when you have 3 wickets in hand with 4 balls remaining in the match now. Chances of getting bowled out are lesser and lesser. So just swing from your hip.
Urging the South Africans on here. Oh, the local fans. It's always nice when you have fans that are vocal. Want to share their love for not only just the one individual, but the team as a whole.
Big swing. Basson believes he heard a sound. But that's not out.
Hopeful. Really, it is hopeful stuff here. Crucially for South Africa under 19. It's a dot ball. Let's have a look at this one again. Yeah, maybe just taking a bit of a tickle and off the shoulder and didn't look clean as it went through to Letabo Patamutlaka.
But you said the most important thing, a dot ball here for JJ Basson. Just finish an over without conceding a boundary. Defend as much as you can with the last 3 balls remaining. Down the ground. Didn't get it well enough though, Henil Patel. The bye, of course, doesn't count.
Umpires now having a conversation. Wonder if they're having a word around the throwing of the ball. And that is indeed the case. Penalty runs coming. South Africa have been ill-disciplined. They were warned numerous times. And as you saw there, umpire Shezi indicating 5 penalty runs.
First time I've seen that take place after the law change. And now he gets pulled away for a biggie. Guess there was no point in banging the ball down. The ball is going to fly away for 6 runs. South Africa concede 5 runs in the previous ball. Those are 5 team runs. And now it's 6 additional ones. Oh, JJ Basson bowling it short, getting punished.
You know, when they talk about insult to injury, maybe sometimes it's not of your own doing, but that's really poor from the South Africans, particularly at this level. They were warned numerous times by the umpires. And it's really self-inflicted. Change in the field, 3rd man into the ring.
Last ball of the match. Of the innings, rather. Last ball of the innings. Bowls it straight. They're going to take the 1. JJ Basson misses the underarm throw. That is the end of the innings. South Africa had a very tough one. They could have prevented India going to 390, but they gave away 5 penalty runs in that over. And South Africa now are going to need 394 to win, as India finish off on 393. And what an absolute bludgeoning